a model's picture today to determine the best treatment plan for a lash lift treatment. So the first things that I look at for a lash lift treatment on our model is the eye shape. And this client here does have more of an almond shaped eye. When a client has an almond eye shape, you do have a little bit more freedom in the choice of rod or shield that you use. But another important element I look at is the client's eye aperture, and that is the height and also the width of the eye to determine how big the eye shape is. So if we take a look at the width of her eye, we can see she does have quite a shorter eye span. And this means we might need to open the eyes using shields that give a more open eye look. But let's take a look at some other elements as well to determine what would be the best rod or shield for our client. So a shield would be a good option to help add height to the eye. But if we're also looking at where the eyes are sitting on the client's face and whether they have more close set or wide set eyes, we want to take a look at the distance between the client's two eyes. So from here to here, we can see that that space is wider than the width or the span of her eye. So she does have more wide set eyes, which is where we start to look at the client's lash direction, and what would be the best fit for this client would be perhaps angling the lashes in this outer corner in more of an outwards position. And this would help draw the eyes outward to give more balance and symmetry to our client's face. A cat eye effect would also work really well for this downturned eye shape. Now, when we're determining the positioning of someone's eye, whether they have an even plane, some people might be more upturned as well, what we can look at is the inner corners and the outer corners and where they're sitting in relation to one another. So typically, you could draw a line from the inner to outer corner and see where those outer corners are sitting. In this example, you can see that they're really not too far off from the inner corners. Perhaps this one is sitting slightly lower. This one is more in line with the inner corner here. It's not what we're looking at for this client's eye shape. Instead, we're looking at the lateral canthus of the client's eye, so the outer portion. And what we're looking at is the outer eyelid is heavier in this outer portion, which does give it more of that downward slope appearance. We can also see by looking at the sclera in the outer portion of the eye that it's less visible than the inner corner. Another indication that we do have more of that downward slope in that outer corner of the eye. We can also tell by the direction of the lashes and where they're growing along that lash line. The outer corner lashes are much more downward in this area here. So again, it's just indicating that we do have more of that downturned eye shape. Now, as we look at the client's lash line as well, another important thing to factor into our treatment notes is the density across the lash line. And I can see that the inner corner lashes are much finer and thinner than the lashes in the outer corner. This would call for a lash processing map where we're increasing our processing times in the outer portion of the client's lash line compared to the inner corner. And this is due to how well those lashes would respond to the lotion. This area would require further processing times. Something else to consider when you're working with downwards growing lashes is how they'll grow out. And when we are using shields where the lift is quite extreme, what can happen is the client can experience more unruly lash grow out. So in this instance, you might like to opt for a hybrid where it's a blend between a rod and a shield. So you are still getting a really great lift, but we are allowing the lashes to grow through in a more maintainable position. For this client, as we are working with a downturned eye shape, I would opt to position the outer corner lashes slightly outward to give that cat eye effect. So for this client, I would opt for our Eliplex Profusion system. I would increase our processing times in this portion of the eye for around 12 to 13 minutes, whereas the inner corner would likely process for around 10 to 11 minutes. I would also use a hybrid shield here just to give us a more balanced grow out, but still get a really beautiful lift while also directing the lashes slightly outward on that outer corner. So the first thing that I'm looking at is the client's eye shape. We do have more of an almond shaped eye. And I'm also looking at the span of the eye, or that width. We can see that it is quite short compared to her facial features. So we want to use a technique where we can open the client's eye and give the illusion of a wider eye span, which is going to help balance out our client's facial features. The next thing I'm looking at is the client's eyelid type. We can see that she does have more of a hooded eye, and in particular the inner corners, where we can see she has an epicanthal eyelid. Now, what an epicanthal eyelid is excess skin or a fold of the eyelid on the inner corner. What we need to consider when working with clients with this eye shape is how well the rod or shield sits in this area and the lift that we're creating in this area as well. We want to be mindful that the lashes don't hit this lid in that area due to the minimal space that we have. So a really great technique that we can implement here is actually trimming our rods or shields on that inner corner. And this is going to allow us to use a larger portion so it fits in nice and snug on the inner corner. And when we're lifting these lashes here, we're not going to lift too much where it's going to touch the eyelid area there. Taking a look at this side image here, we can also see the direction of our client's lashes are quite downturned. This would make a really ideal candidate for our Korean lash lift technique, as we can apply really great mechanical tension along the roots of the lashes during our lifting phase of the service, so that we're able to form a really great dramatic result for our client. Now let's talk about the rod or shield decision for this client. Now, looking at the eyelid space for our client, we can see that there is minimal distance here, and we do have that hooded effect. So we want to be mindful we're not creating too much lift where those lashes are going to touch our client's eyelid. We want to create a little bit of distance from the root of the lash to our client's eyelid area. And to do that, we can use a hybrid where it's going to lift out before we lift up. So it creates this gap here where the lashes aren't folded onto our client's eyelid. You might also look at upsizing in your rod or shield to create more distance there as well. And for this client, she does have quite long lashes. We can see they extend all the way out to here. So we're going to get quite a dramatic result using a hybrid shield for our client, but we're still going to give them that space between the root and the eyelid. So here are the results on this client. We opted for a large hybrid, and we found that it actually fit quite snug on that inner corner when we were placing it on the client's eyelid. We didn't decide to trim, but what we did instead was reduce the processing times on the inner corner so that it created a softer lift on the inner corner to ensure that the lashes didn't lift too high and touch the eyelid. We did process the lashes in the outer corner for slightly longer, just to create that beautiful, consistent lift all the way across the lash line. You'll also notice the direction of the lashes are placed slightly outward to help draw the eyes out, to give the appearance of a wider eye shape.